And welcome aboard. 10, 9. Come on.
7, 6.
Do it with me, folks.
5,
I need all the
4,
help I can get.
3, 2,
1. Come on.
0. Ignition.
Come on, baby.
Lift off.
Let's get it going. It's like thunder, lightning. The way you love me, it's frightening. Come on.
Get ready. Hold on to your hat. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hat. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. On Vaughn Radio. It's a show with no name.
Let's go, amigos. All right. Yes. It's Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. Welcome, amigos. Welcome. Welcome to another exciting edition of the Show with No Name. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're feeling great. And if that's the case, well, that's awesome. And if not, by the end of this 2-hour period, you'll be feeling great. And you'll have learned a lot of English and have a lot of fun. Welcome, amigos. Welcome. And today I've got some really good news for you. Well, I just found out on Friday, after the show, but it's official. I guess I can let the cat out of the bag. Dejar escapar el secreto. Folks, we have 2 brand spanking new shows starting on Vaughn Radio soon. As of October 9th, you're going to have a new show from 3 to 4 p.m. called Speak Up with your host, Ruby. And as if that wasn't enough, you've also got another show coming up called Frankly Speaking. Frankly Speaking, it's called, and it's hosted by Chris Frank. It's from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Now, if you didn't get what I just said, well, then give this a listen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Vaughn Radio proudly presents 2 brand spanking new shows. You can join Ruby every weekday on her program Speak Up from 3 to 4 p.m. Speak Up is for students who are just getting started and superstars who want to go over the basics. Let Ruby guide you through the English experience on her new program Speak Up on Vaughn Radio from 3 to 4 p.m. And Frankly Speaking, hosted by Chris. This program will be on every evening from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And in Frankly Speaking, Chris Frank will make you feel like you were at the restaurant or bar with him in a totally native conversation. Learn English as you have fun with Frankly Speaking. So make sure you check out our 2 latest programs. You're going to love them. Frankly Speaking with Chris from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. and Speak Up with Ruby from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. I have a feeling, I have a hunch you're going to love these new programs. Exclusively on Vaughn Radio. Don't miss them. There you go, folks. Brand new shows. And as I said, they're kicking off on the 9th of October. So mark your calendars. Also mark your calendars for our Vaughn Radio Trivia Night with the one and only Kyle Miller.
It's time for the return of our Vaughn Radio Trivia Nights. Join us to practice your English, test your knowledge, and have a great time on Wednesday, October 4th at 8:30 p.m. at Roll Madrid, Calle Amañel 23. Each month, we host our Vaughn Radio Trivia Nights where attendees are put into teams and answer fun trivia questions in English. Join us for the fun at Roll Madrid on Wednesday, October 4th at 8:30 p.m. That's Roll Madrid, Calle Amañel 23. This time, it's hosted by me, Kyle Miller. Everyone's welcome, so we'll see you there.
That's right, folks. So tons of cool stuff coming up soon, starting with October 4th. That's this coming Wednesday, Trivia Night, hosted by Kyle Miller. Then we've got our new show, Speak Up, hosted by Ruby, who I've never met, so I'm excited to meet her. And that's as of October 9th from 3 to 4 p.m. You'll be able to tune in to that new program. And then 7:30 to 8:30, another program called Frankly Speaking with Chris Frank. So make sure you download the Vaughn Radio app and you tune in on October 9th to the debut of these new shows. And folks, it's time for Question of the Week.
Question of the week.
That's right. Charge. It's Question of the Week. And first and foremost, thank you. Thanks for all your participation in our other Question of the Weeks. It's been a roaring success, as we say, contundente, rotundo, maybe a roaring success, and that is thanks to you guys. Keep up the great work and make sure you participate. If you've already participated, keep it up. If you haven't participated, the hell are you waiting for, man? Come on, we want to hear from you. And I think this week's is pretty easy. You know, last week we had to look at regrets. Well, sometimes... it's hard to think about what you would have done. But I think this week it's relatively easy. You don't have to do too much soul searching. But the question is, what would you do every day if you didn't need money ever again? So you win the lottery. The next morning you wake up, you quit your job. Maybe you don't. That's up to you. So if money was not an issue, what would you do for the rest of your life? Like and you can't say, don't tell me your routine. I would wake up, I would make a smoothie, then I would, don't tell me everything you would do. I mean, what would be your life's goal? Like, what I would go and watch planes. For example, I'm just giving you an example. All morning. I could do it all morning if I didn't have to work. I could spend the whole day at the airport. I'm already giving you my answer. So if you didn't have to work, if you didn't need money, maybe if some of you are actually in that situation, congratulations. But the rest of us, well, we need money to get by, for our groceries. Groceries are la compra, las comestibles, which, by the way, this week, we've got an upcoming FYI episode on supermarkets, which is going to be a very useful episode. So make sure you follow FYI wherever you get your Vaughn podcasts, okay? And going back to the question of the week, I urge you all to participate. Send me a 1-minute voice message. You can send it to aalonso@grupovaughn.com and introduce yourself. Hello, it's Germán. If I didn't need money, I would do this. Y así estamos hasta practicando condicionales y todo. If I didn't need money, I would, segundo condicional. So great way to practice, and not just writing, because here in the class every day, you guys interact, but it's different when we hear your voice. I think it's much more personal, and I can help you. I can guide you and say, cuidado que veo que notas que pronuncias la D de los final. And then you can work on that. And the next time you participate, well, I can find a different mistake that we can work on, but you're already at least aware, consciente, of that other mistake. All right. So my amigos, Alonso at Grupo Vaughn, a 1-minute voice message. telling us what you would do every day if you never needed money again. Now, I know you would listen to and watch the show with no name, but aside from that, and folks, I think it's time for today's pop quiz. Come on. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. All right, amigos. All right, it is our pop quiz here on the show with no name. And here's where I get some content from one of our books, perhaps from one of our posts on social media. So this is a good opportunity to make sure you're following us on social media. Follow Vaughn, follow my buddies at Vaughn Radio, and follow me. And those of you who follow me on social media, and Andrea Vaughn and Rob Grams and Kyle Miller, you'll see that we were together this past Sunday. Yeah, well, I can't fit everybody. No caben todos en mi casa, but I had some of my buddies at Vaughn Radio, some of my great friends over this weekend. So shout out to Rob and Andy and the Lunchtime Show, Kyle Miller, the Drive Time Show, Fitz and No Excuses, and it was great. As you guys can see, we're not just friends on the radio, but Sundays we get together, Saturdays, well, whenever we can, and it was a beautiful day on Sunday. So, my amigos, what have we got for today's pop quiz? Well, today's pop quiz is coming out of the book Natural English. Natural English, tu guía definitiva del inglés natural. And I think, let's be honest here. Doesn't everybody want to sound more natural? Nobody wants to sound robotic. Nobody wants to sound, right? Everybody wants to sound more like in the club, as I call it. The other day, my daughter comes running into my office. Papi. I'm like, what, honey? What happened? What happened? She said, Mommy said diamond. I'm like, what? What did she say? She said diamond. And it's diamond. I said, oh, my God. I thought there was a fire. Un incendio. She said, Mommy said diamond. Como mal dicho, eh? Oh, man. So Lara's in the club. So it's not just about pronunciation, though, but it's knowing. Listen, the example I always give is this. When I learned the word work in Spanish class in the United States, they taught me trabajar. Great. And that does mean work. Thank you. Educational system in the United States. But in Spain, nobody says trabajar. They say currar. Curro los fines de semana. Curro tal. So, see? Perfect example. Nobody says adios. Adios. Well, first, they don't say adios. They say adios. Pronunciado a lo guiri. Adios, amigos. But these little things, you guys say in Madrid, not even hasta luego. You say ta luego. So again, these little things that we say, how we say them, makes you part of the English club in this case. I want to be in the Spanish club. That's why I always try and pay attention to what you guys are saying. Now, if you have this book, Natural English, which comes with audio, by the way, turn to page 104. Okay? And we're going to look at some vocabulary you would use when you're trying to convince somebody of something, or you're trying to talk them into something. Convencer a alguien is to talk somebody into something. Convencerle que no haga algo is to talk somebody out of something. All right. So I'm going to ask you for 3 different structures, but I want you to use them in context. I want a full sentence with them, okay? The first one is dejar boquiabierto. There are many ways to say it, so if it's not the one in the book, it's okay. Dame todos, okay? So, me dejó boquiabierto. You can use your own example. Usa uno de verdad. ¿Qué es lo último en tu vida que te ha dejado boquiabierto? Piensa en eso. For me, it was a documentary I just saw on HBO this past weekend called Natalia Grace. Oh, shit, man. It's hardcore. So the first one, dejar boquiabierto. The second one is boca a boca. This is how things spread, right? Good and bad, right? So if you like the new restaurant in town, well, you're going to tell your friends, and that's the best marketing. If you don't like it, you're also going to tell your friends. In fact, you're probably going to tell them if you had a bad experience more than a good one, sadly. That's the way it goes. So, boca a boca. Again, I don't just want the words. I want you to give them to me in a sentence. And the last one is la pera limonera. Lo mejor de lo mejor. All right? And you want to know something? La pera limonera, lo mejor de lo mejor, we're going to look at in the upcoming episode of FYI on supermarkets. I swear to God. It's in the intro. Esa expresión. All right, so I've given you 3 different expressions. Now, again, there are many ways to say it, but I want you to sound as native as possible. I want it to be natural English. Dejar boquiabierto, boca a boca, o sea, decirle al vecino algo. And the other one, lo mejor de lo mejor, lo mejorcito, la pera limonera. All right, let's go on over to our virtual chat room, and we'll see who's on board and ready to rock. We've got German. What's up, German? He says, morning, guys. How you doing? Hello, German. Kubla says, sup, marvelous fellows. It's fun to be back in school. Yes, I crave these dates. Daily moments, so cool. Those I spend with teach and classmates. All right, awesome stuff. Kubla, good morning. German says, Lara is so on the ball, it's scary. Yeah, you have no idea. I can't even put into words how sharp, espabilada, how sharp she is. Blows my mind every day. Today she said, I won't get into it, but she said something today that I don't think adults even notice. And I was like, you're absolutely right. Holy shit. So ella, perfecto, Lara me deja boquiabierto. Yo ya sé mi respuesta a el primer ejemplo, right? Lara siempre me deja boquiabierto. Ya tengo mi ejemplo. La segunda, de boca a boca. Why do you think I'm always telling you guys that if you love Vaughn Radio, if you love FYI, to spread the word? Because that's the best way for people to discover things. Tú me dijiste que escuchara Vaughan Radio. Right? That's always a really good way for good things to spread. And as we said before, even bad things. And the next one is an idiomatic expression that has to do with food. And I think, for example, I think the fact that you can see me here is really cool, is awesome. It's the bomb. It's the bee's knees. Pero yo tengo otra aquí. Let's see if you know them. Kubla says, that a girl, Lara. Oh, and by the way, I didn't tell you guys this part. Lara was in the studio again with me this weekend. That's right. What were we doing? We were recording the upcoming radio ad for my trivia night. Remember, Kyle's is this Wednesday. This Wednesday, October 4th. I'll be hosting November 1st. And my daughter helped me make the ad. I can't play it yet. Well, because not yet. But you guys are going to love it. Rob and Nacho both told me it's amazing. It's awesome. And they weren't talking about my part. I don't think they were talking about my part at all. She did a great job. An amazing job. All right, let's take a look at what you guys got. Born to Iron Man says, morning, folks. Morning, buddy. How you doing? Kubla says, she was discombobulated when she saw Peter Lorre down the street. Wow, very specific example, but I like it. Discombobulated. That's one of my favorite words, Kubla. A ver cómo lo traducen. Discombobulated. Okay, this doesn't want to find it over here. Oh, you know why? Porque está en español. English, Spanish. Let's try it now. Now we're going to try it. Discombobulated. Let's see. It's not finding it. Thank you. Thanks. See, word reference? I got to say something, guys. There's times where they've got it, and other times where I'm like, where are you here? Okay, discombobulated. Desconcertado, perturbado, confundido. So let me just say something, though, here, Kubla, because this is important. That is the same, but it's the negative one, right? So me dejó boquiabierto is like de forma negativa. Like, what the just happened? I'm confused. So but I love the word, but I wanted to just clear up that that one's not the positive one, but it's great. It's correct. She was discombobulated when she saw Peter Lorre down the street. Next one. Mouth to mouth is a great way to get publicity. Kubla, I love it, and I'm only going to do it because I know you love it. Mouth to mouth or word of mouth? Mouth to mouth is if you want to save somebody's life. I hope you know mouth to mouth resuscitation. Don't worry, it's a common mistake. Okay, so mouth to mouth, no. Well, sure, if you save their life, you'll get some good publicity. Oh, man, this is the greatest guy ever. He gave me mouth to mouth. So, cuidado, in inglés is word of mouth. Word of mouth, boca a boca. Dejar boquiabierto. Hey, they both have to do with bocas here. All right, let's see your third one here. Spanish olive oil is the cream of the crop. I love it. I'm the cream of the crop. I rise to the top. I never eat a pig because a pig is a cop, or better yet, a Terminator, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know me, I love a little rap when we got a beat going. Let's see, we've got German. He says, last time I saw an 80-year-old dancing, I was discombobulated. That's interesting. There are many ways to say boquiabierto, and you both went with discombobulated. It can be like atónito también, like, wow, that's amazing. Let's see, Boqui. Ahora no me encuentra el español. Thanks. Today, Boqui, I'm telling you, today, word reference and I are not friends. We're not getting along. So German says, last time I saw an 80-year-old dancing, I was discombobulated. We'll take it. Number 2, I'm so in doubt when I hear word of mouth comments on scientific facts. All right. And he says the show with no name is la creme de la creme of radio shows. Awesome. I'll take it. I will take it. All right. Anybody else? Okay. We've got some over here. Leo in the house. We've got Leo in the house. And he says, when my son told me he loved me, I was flabbergasted. I love that word. Flabbergasted. Wow, I can't believe that just happened. Great. Number 2, I found out that my restaurant was good through word of mouth. Excellent. I'll take it. And the last one, I listened to a podcast about Amazon that is a blast. I like it. If something's a blast, it's very, very fun. Not exactly the same, but you know what? What are we looking for here, guys? We're looking for natural English, and that's what you guys are giving me. So wonderful job in our pop quiz. Right now, we've got to go to a quick commercial break. Yeah, time flies. When we come back, I'll give you guys the ones in the book, because nobody got the ones from the book Natural English. So I'm going to give you some more synonyms, plus we've got say what, spelling bee, homophones, and so much more up ahead. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name, exclusively on Vaughn Radio. That's right. Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting, it's interactive, and you can learn 24/7, 365, baby. Oh, yeah. Also, folks, just to tell you about some things we got going on in the Vaughn sphere, the Vaughn world. Right now, we've got Vaughn groups. That's right. We're starting classes for our Vaughn groups. Now, you can do these in person, or if you prefer, through a video call. That's awesome, guys. I'm telling you as a teacher, okay, being in person is great. But if you're short on time, I mean, this is a lifesaver, because you can literally, let's say you're an early riser, madrugador. Well, you can have your class at 7 a.m. while you're having your coffee before you get in the shower and go to work, right? Or maybe, at the end of the day, you can crack a beer in your pajamas in your English class. You can find out more about Vaughn groups at our website. You know the website, it's grupovaughn.com. If you're looking for materials, it's vaughntienda.com. And also make sure you're following us on social media. Amigos, it's time for the Say What soundbite. Yeah. Say what? What? Yeah. Say what soundbite? Show with no name. Say what soundbite? Never be the same. All right, amigos. I think we got an easy one. I was just talking about madrugar, right? An early bird, madrugador. My daughter's an early bird. She gets up at 7. Sometimes I'm up early too. We're on the American clock here. We're in bed by 10. By 10, we are definitely in bed here. We have dinner earlier. American style, guys. But you know what they say? Early to bed, early to rise makes a person healthy, wealthy, and wise. Well, that's what Ben Franklin said, one of the forefathers of the United States of America. And by the way, speaking of that, Richard Vaughn will be joining me on FYI very soon to be, and well, to chat. I was going to say to chat really, because I don't know what I'm talking about with American history. As I tell him in the episode, it's been decades. So when he said a lot of the stuff, it rang a bell, no doubt about it. But at the same time, I was like, oh, right. That's how that's linked. So very, very interesting episode. As I always tell my FYIers, it's always interesting when I learn too. And I learn in every episode. I learn about a different topic every week. Some topics I know more about, others I don't. And I'm always learning Spanish as well. So, all right, amigos, our Say What soundbite over here. Let's give it a listen. Everybody grab a pen, grab a piece of paper or your notebook, and jot this down.
When the twist came here, dancing changed. They were doing the swing. But when Chubby came on the scene, dancing apart to the beat was born. I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me, and we're doing something.
All right. Again, I think it's easy peasy. I think it's a piece of cake. I think it's a walk in the park. I think it's child's play. ¿Quieres más formas de decir pan comido? The only one you can't say is eaten bread. Porque eso suena asqueroso en inglés. Eaten bread? No, thanks. No, that sounds gross. All right. Well, let me give it to you a second time, and then I'd love to hear what you guys heard in your best English possible. Here we go. The Say What soundbite for the second time.
When the twist came here, dancing changed. They were doing the swing. But when Chubby came on the scene, dancing apart to the beat was born. I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me, and we're doing something.
All right. There you go, my amigos. There you go. And what else did we have to do? Oh, our pop quiz. So you guys gave me some really good ways to say these things, but let me give you some other ones. And again, if you want to get more, you can go to vontienda.com. The book is called Natural English. See it? Natural English, tu guía definitiva del inglés natural. It's got all different situations. When you're feeling superstitious, I'm not superstitious, the writing's on the wall. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. No te adelantes. To jinx something, gafarlo. To speak too soon, cantar victoria. I spoke too soon. Break a leg, mucha mierda. I'm not buying it, no lo trago. Okay? Aquí hay gato encerrado. I smell a rat. Un cuento chino, a cock and bull story, or a tall tale. So, really, really native expressions, but it doesn't just give you the expression. What it does is it goes over an explanation and how and when it's used, what I give you here on the show. And then there's a conversation, and there are little footnotes that explain the different vocabulary that you'll see in the conversation. So you can see it in context. It's so important. So, for example, airtight, impenetrable, hermético. Esto es en el mismo capítulo, okay? Que es capítulo 46. When recommending or convincing someone. Groundbreaking, revolucionario. To let down, decepcionar. To frown on, desaprobar. Cuando algo está mal visto, it's frowned upon, right? So really good idiomatic expressions. To sell ice to an Eskimo. That means it is buen comercial. This guy could sell ice to an Eskimo. Although now it's Inuit. Well, whatever. I'm not going to change the idiomatic expression. So, dejar boquiabierto. They knocked my socks off. Lara knocks my socks off, right? To knock my socks off. That means surprised me in a good way, right? Some of you said discombobulated. It's in a negative way, right? If somebody knocks your socks off, man, they impressed you. in a good way. You're like, wow, that's incredible. You guys, in your say what, not in the say what, in the question of the week, you guys are knocking my socks off. Me estáis dejando boquiabiertos. Positivo. Again, the book will explain that. And also, here's another one with knock, que es muy, muy, muy nativa. Si yo te digo, if I say, hey, Germán, can I grab a soda, un refresco? And Germán's like, hombre, por favor, claro, tira. Hombre, claro que sí. You know what he would say? Knock yourself out. Tú mismo, dale. Pero, claro, suena noquéate. Esa es rara, ¿eh? Pero knock yourself out es, claro, hombre, todo lo que quieras. So, to knock somebody's socks off, to impress them, to leave them in awe, es otra forma. We were in awe, boquiabierto del positivo, right? Thrown off is boquiabierto desconcertado, right? We were thrown off. We didn't know what to expect, right? We were discombobulated. Again, a negative one compared to it knocked my socks off. Me deslumbró, me dejó boquiabierto. The next one, word of mouth, not to be confused with mouth to mouth, right? And then this one, nobody got this one, but you'll know it in the next episode of FYI on supermarkets. I think you guys are going to love it. Oh, and I tell you a lot about my own personal experiences teaching my daughter at the supermarket, and also how my wife has given me a certain nickname because I'm a traditionalist. Because I'm thrifty, ahorrativo. Hey, things are expensive. If I can get €3 off, I'm getting €3 off. Of course. So if you want to learn more about that stuff, and I think it's important, groceries, staples, the basics at the supermarket. Every Friday, you got a brand spanking new episode of FYI. And in this one, in the intro, I'll tell you guys this. I'm giving you a little bit of a, since you're both FYIers and show with no namers, in the intro of the supermarket episode, I go, there's a special on sliced bread and chopped liver. And I did that on purpose. Sliced bread, to an American, the expression, this is the best thing since sliced bread. Esto es lo mejor que ha pasado en el mundo desde que se empezó a cortar el pan. Te lo juro, que se vendió pan cortado. So the way I say it, es la rebomba. No hay nada mejor. Man, o sea, el mejor invento desde que se empezó a trocear el pan. So I did that on purpose. Because if an American heard, we've got a special on sliced bread, you think of the expression, this is the best thing since sliced bread. And then chopped liver, I don't know if you know this one, hígado picado, chopet de hígado. Well, in the United States, we're not big liver people. In general, we don't eat liver. We eat hydrogenated oils and other poisons. But if somebody, the expression, usually it's used with the question, what am I, chopped liver? Que soy el último mono. Yo no cuento aquí. So everybody gets something and you don't. So there you go. 2 idiomatic expressions that have to do with food. You'll learn many, many more in the upcoming episode. And these expressions too, the ones you just heard, came out of this book, Natural English. Check it out. It's available at vaughntienda.com. Let's see. Let's see how you guys did on the Say What soundbite. We've heard it twice already. Let's see. We've got, let me scroll around over here. Chris Valrol, she says, hi, dear Alberto and mates. Today I'm under the weather. Oh, sorry to hear that. I'll try to participate, but I can't promise. Don't worry. Even if you have to turn us off because you got a headache or anything, we get it. Most important thing, get better fast. Get well soon, right? I'm getting tongue-tied over here. Chris, well, I'm getting choked up. I want you to get better. She says, painkillers are the best. Oh, I love it. And you know what? She said it before I said it. So excellent job, Chris. Painkillers are the best thing since sliced bread. Buenísimo. Yeah, los analgésicos. And she says, I guess Lara usually knocks your socks off. Absolutely. Great job, Chris. Wonderful job. Chris says also, I heard a man, maybe American, con mayúscula. He has a pleasant cadence. I think he's talking about dancing. Chris, you may be under the weather, but you couldn't tell. No se notaría, no desde aquí. Not from this angle. Excellent, Chris. And I hope you feel better soon. Kubla. He says, I heard an American man discussing dancing styles and how one of them just popped up. All right. Yeah. 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 German says you can have a soda, tacos, quesadillas, pozole, and mole. Double A, it's on me. Knock yourself out. German, don't start talking about food, though, because now I just got hungry. See? Well, sooner or later, we always end up talking about food somehow. But, German, my mouth is watering now. Thanks. Let's see. Leo in the house. He says, I think it's an American who's telling how both he and his partner fell in love by increasing the tempo of the songs at a party. I think in the end, they got down on the floor with the songs. No ha dicho dance, ha dicho get down. Que puede ser bailar o hacer otras cosas. Todos en el tono. We got down and then we got down. Leo, you are sharp, buddy. Sharp as a tack. Como una chincheta, you say? A tack. So, yeah, to get down on the dance floor. I love it. Great vocabulary, Leo. Ricardo says, I heard an American person, probably a dancer, speaking about how impressed he was the first time he saw another female dancer. In vez de dancer female, female dancer. Great job, Ricardo. And by the way, I hope all of you who are participating here, written, texting, are also going to participate in the question of the week. Because, Ricardo, I want to hear your voice. Right? Luis Jimenez, I want to hear your voice. And Luis says, hi, Alberto. Nice haircut. Well, I'll have to talk to my barber. Let him know. Hey, Alberto. Yeah, what's up, dude? Hey, you did a great job on your hair. Oh, thank you. I do it. Hey, I told you, we got to save money however you can, right? You've got to cut corners. Ser ahorrativo donde se puede. So now I cut my own hair. And you know what? I've gotten the question a lot already. Alberto, hey, why did you shave your head? Well, I've been doing it since I was like 14 in the summers because it gets hot. So that's like, that's a basic thing. Now, number two, Alberto, why did you stop wearing hats? The baseball caps. And the answer is really simple. When I shaved my head, my daughter has said to me almost every day, Papi, you're so handsome. Papi, you're so handsome. So when I stopped wearing the hat and I shaved my head, and I said, well, if my daughter thinks I'm handsome, I'm never going to change. I'm going to keep my hair like that, whatever. And she keeps saying, Papi, you're so handsome. And that's just, man, you want to talk about knocking your socks off. Beautiful, isn't it? And she means it. She looks at you right in your eyes and says, Papi, you're so handsome. And I'm like, thank you, honey. You're beautiful. I love that she knows, too. Handsome for boys, Beautiful can be either way. Pretty is more for girls, but boys can be pretty. Todos conocemos unos boys que se cuidan mucho. Que no digo que no hay que cuidarse. But thank you, Luis. I just gave you guys my secrets there. Why I'm not wearing a cap and who my barber is. I don't know if he's got any openings, any slots, if you guys are looking to get a haircut. And just be careful. I've heard a lot of people make a mistake with this one. I've heard people say, I cut my hair. En mi caso, sí. I cut my hair yesterday. Pero si no lo haces tú, es I got a haircut yesterday. Y el chiste siempre es, only one? A hair me corta. Okay. But yeah, it's not I cut my hair. Because that means you did it. And that, in that case, it's true in my case. But many people, what you want to say is, I got to get a haircut, man. My hair is really growing out here. I've got to get a haircut. All right, amigos. Excellent job. Thank you for all your participation in the Say What soundbite. Wonderful job, as always. But we've got to keep it moving along. So let's kick off with, you know it, folks. It's our spelling bee.
Spelling bee.
Meow. Meow.
Spelling bee.
Meow.
Spelling bee.
Meow.
Spelling bee.
Meow.
Spelling bee.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It's our spelling bee, only on the show with no name. And this is one of the most challenging sections on every show, but I know you guys will be able to handle it. So are you ready? Here's today's spelling bee. This is round one. As always, we are gonna fly through this. Why? Because you guys are so damn good. And these words are pretty short today. So I think you guys will definitely be able to figure them out. Is everybody ready? All right, round one. Oh, they don't have to be capitalized. No hay que poner mayúsculas. Hoy no. Okay? The first one is ASSAILANT. The second one is MISDEMEANOR. The third one is BAIL space OUT. The fourth one is HANDCUFFS. The fifth one is PICKPOCKET. And the last one is FELONY. Everybody get that? Okay. I know what you're thinking. But I have a feeling, I have a hunch someone's going to get it. Oh, wait. Somebody getting arrested here? It wasn't me. It was Luis Jimenez. No, I'm joking. It was Kubla. It was Chris. No, I'm joking, guys. I'm not going to rat you out. No voy a hacer un soplón. I'm not going to rat you out. I would never do that. All right. Well, I'm trying to give you a little audio clue, as I usually do here on the show. All right. Going once, going twice. I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds, about a minute, to see if anybody got these words on the first go. I think they're short compared. Sometimes we got some really tough words here. I mean, sometimes we've even looked at Polish words, and, so putting all that into perspective, this is going to be a breeze for you guys. A breeze, a piece of cake, a walk in the park, right? Child's play. But I'm looking at the comments here in our virtual classroom, and I don't see anybody participating. Uh-oh. Did I really stump you guys? I hardly ever do this, guys. I don't think there aren't many times, I could probably count them on one hand, where nobody's gotten them on the first go. So going once, going twice, going three times, sold to the man in the back. This is round two of today's spelling bee. The first word is ASSAILANT. The second word is MISDEMEANOR. The third word is BAIL space OUT. The fourth one is HANDCUFFS. The fifth one, PICKPOCKET. And the fifth one is FELONY. All right, my amigos, those are your words. And right now, we've got to go to a quick commercial break. I can't believe it myself. I see we've got some people who seem to have figured it out here. So we'll take a look at that and so much more in the second half. Oh my God. We're halfway through the show? Holy shit. We got a lot to do, guys. A lot. When we come back, we've got homophones, Name That Movie, Double Trouble, and so much more. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Just a reminder, guys, our Vaughn groups, really cool because you can do them in person or online. Groups of 4 to 6 students, all with the same level. And cool. I think it's great. If you're looking for group classes, you're looking for your own timetable there that works for you, contact us at grupovaughn.com. Or you can give us a call, 911-385831. Also, if you follow us on social media, you can find out about all kinds of upcoming deals. In fact, if you sign up for our Vaughn weekend camps, that's right, our Vaughn weekend camps, right now, you can get a 5% discount. If you want to find out more, we'll have an online session. It's on the 10th of October at 6 p.m. Again, if you follow us on social media, you'll have all this stuff down packed. All right. Vaughn weekend camps for kids. It's great because they do all kinds of activities, have fun, make friends, and learn English. And that's exactly what we do here on the show with no name. We've got all kinds of challenges. And our next one is homophones on the show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, because homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Because homophones time, because homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And here's where we're going to look at some confusing words, as always. If you know the words, great, then you got it under control. But either way, you should pronounce them aloud with me whenever possible. The first word is something that's made out of rubber, and it's used to erase pencil. Okay? Goma de borrar, borrador. Okay? Very common when we're talking about school supplies. Okay? So that one is goma de borrar, goma. And it's something made out of rubber. It can be at on the tip of a pencil, right? Or it can be, a little thing. My daughter the other day had one in a goodie bag from a birthday party. And she took it out. She goes, "Is this a candy?" And I go, "No, it's a goma de borrar. Don't eat that." I don't think they should make them such attractive colors that they look like. Well, I guess after, the moment she'd sink her teeth into them, she'd be like, "Oh, what the fuck is this? It tastes like rubber." Because it is. All right. So that is the first one. And the second one is, let's see how you say it in Spanish. The act of erasing. Okay. Borrado, corrección, enmendadura. Okay? It's also the name of a group. Maybe you might be a fan of this music group. So those are your words. I want to know what the words are. I want to know if they sound the same. And, of course, I want you to say the words with me when I say them. But first, let's listen to our Say What soundbite for the third time.
When the twist came here, dancing changed. They were doing the swing. But when Chubby came on the scene, dancing apart to the beat was born. I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me, and we're doing something.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You hear it one more time over there. Again, I think it's a pretty easy one, a relatively easy one, but we shall see. All right, let's look at our homophones, and then we've got to go back and check our spelling bee. I see we've got a lot of people who have participated in the spelling bee. So let's get the homophones out of the way. Then we'll go into spelling bee, movies, and all that jazz. All right, this way we get everything done and hopefully have time to do all our sections today. All right, German is taking a stab at today's homophones. It seems like German is the only one taking a stab at it. Well, German, you're putting everything here at risk. You're putting your life and limb over here in danger, in peril, in jeopardy. Más formas de decir en peligro, ¿quieres? All right, so German, those are the good news. So far, so good. Those are the correct words. Great. Are you a fan of the group? Possibly. And he says they are not homophones. Okay. Anybody else? Before we check them out, I'm going to see the names of the songs. A Little Respect, Love to Hate You, Always, Sometimes. I got to be honest, I'm not a big fan of synth pop. La música pop de los synthesizers. I love 80s stuff, but I never got into these guys. All right. So, German, okay, Kubla also is taking a stab at it. Those are also the correct words, and he says they don't sound alike. All right. Well, the first one comes from the verb to erase, right? So what do you use if you want to erase something? Easy. You use an eraser. Eraser. And careful, it doesn't sound like razor. A razor, right? Para afeitarse. You can use a razor. But this is eraser. Acuérdate, en inglés a veces es S, a veces es Z, right? So in this case, I want you to listen to that. Eraser. Es S, right? Y el otro sería a razor. Do you have a razor? Eraser? A razor? Similar, but not really, right? Eraser. Say it with me. My eraser erases, y ojo, en tercera persona añadimos una sílaba. So I erase, she erases. So she erases her mistakes with an eraser. Good. But make sure you can't see those erasures on the page. Sustantivo, right? Erasures. Erasure. What's the difference? Eraser, erasure. Yeah, that S is not an S or a Z. It's a sh. Erasure, erasure. Again, I'm not a big fan of the group, but if it helps, excellent job. Chris Barrol also got it as well. Excellent job. Excellent job. Let's see. Kubla taking a stab at our Say What soundbite. You got everything. It looks like you got everything except the name of the person. But there's a clue in the background. There's some music in the background that can give you a huge clue. So for those of you who know who sings what song, listen to that. But Kubla, almost perfect. But I will tell you that if you listen to the song that there's playing, there's a song playing in the background very lightly. That'll help you with that person's name that we just said there. Great job on the homophone section as well, guys. And it's time to move on. We've got to take a look at our spelling bee now. These are all words that had to do with, well, crime, delito, policing, right? And the reason I chose these words today, well, we could learn about this topic. In fact, that would be a good topic for FYI, right? Policía. When did it start? All this kind of stuff. And the first word is assailant. Okay. Oh, and I was about to tell you why. Claro. I got to finish my thoughts. Today, in the year 1829, the Metropolitan Police of London, later they were known as the Met. Well, they were founded today in 1829. 1829. The bobbies, the police. That's the sound of the police. In the U.S., we call them 5-0. Hey, guys, 5-0. Ahí hay policía. 5-0. Don't speed. No vayas exceso de velocidad. The 5-0 is going to pull you over. Toma frase nativa. So an assailant, I think you can kind of figure it out. Asaltante, agresor, right? An attacker, right? Somebody who attacks somebody. Assailant is the word. Assailant. The second word is a misdemeanor. What's her last name? Her last name is Demeanor. Yeah? And is she married? No, she's not married. Oh, so she's misdemeanor. La señorita. Okay. All right. Well, a misdemeanor is a minor crime. So a misdemeanor, speeding, maybe, right? Una falta, un delito menor, right? So obviously you don't want to have any crimes on your rap sheet, tus antecedentes, your rap sheet, your criminal record. You don't want to have a criminal record, period. But I guess if you're gonna, it's better to have a misdemeanor than a felony, delito grave. You know, if I were an employer and, well, first, I wouldn't want you having a criminal record. First. Normally, it's not conducive. Even if you've changed your ways, you know? That's the way that works. It's like tu certificado B1. Even though you and I both know it doesn't do anything, doesn't make you a better English speaker. Right? That's up to you. Pero bueno, si entras con el B1, el B, whatever the qualifications are, well, you got your foot in the door, como decimos. Entraste por la puerta. So a misdemeanor. If you've seen any of these crime dramas, The Wire, for example, they probably talk about this. The Wire, un micrófono oculto. Mira, el nombre de eso. The next one's bail out. We don't only use this one in prison. In fact, these days it's used more in corporate America and with banks. So to bail somebody out of jail is pagar la fianza. How much is his bail? $50,000. Well, I'll bail him out. Pero también es rescatar. En cuanto a, well, the banks received more bailouts, más rescates. So it's a noun and a verb. Bail. Come on, man. You got to bail me out. No solo es de la prisión, pero de esta situación. Very big word these days, right? You see it a lot in the press, in la prensa, to bail somebody out. So I would say back in the old West, lo decían más por la cárcel, pero hoy en día es más rescate de subvenciones, grants, right? Aid, ayuda, government aid for different industries. But what I always say, nobody's bailing me out. Why isn't anybody bailing me out? Help me, guys. Come on. I could use a hand. Who couldn't? The next one, handcuffs. This is a really, really funny one in Spanish. Esposas, you guys have a sense of humor, huh? Handcuffs. And I'll never forget the day I learned this word. I was working at a big bank, hablando de bailouts. And one of my students was telling me that her boss was a strange guy. Nice, but strange. And she told me, oh, yeah, en su mesa. You know, she said, in his desk, he has wives. Wives. I'm like, wives? Esposas. Wives. I'm like, is he Mormon or what is that religion where, you know, you can marry a lot of different wives? And, you know, it took me a couple minutes. And then he's like, what? Esposas, lo que usan en la cárcel cuando te arrestan, detienen. I'm like, okay. I jotted it down. And in English, it's handcuffs. It makes sense if the cuff of your shirt is donde, right? Los gemelos are your cufflinks. So that part of your shirt is the cuff where your wrist is. Makes sense. Handcuffs. And it's a verb. Ponle las esposas. Handcuff him. You don't have to say in English, and that happens a lot of time. We verbify. Verbificamos. Ponle las esposas. Put the handcuffs on him. Yo voy a decir eso? No. Handcuff him. Handcuff him. The fifth one, pickpocket. This one kind of makes sense, doesn't it? A pickpocket. Right? I don't like this, man. Because you're going to a place where families are going, tourists, and you're taking advantage of them. Very, very admirable. Very admirable. Pickpockets. And if you're going to steal, why are you just stealing a wallet? Steal a car. Get some balls. Pickpockets. A weak excuse for a criminal. Una excusa patética para un criminal. Get into real crime, man. I'm kidding. Believe me, I don't advocate for crime. Abogar por. And the last one, folks, is felony. I mentioned it before with misdemeanor, right? A felony is a very serious charge. Mayor, un delito mayor o grave. Hopefully, you won't have to use too many of these words. Hopefully, you'll never even get pulled over. But it's good to know the basics, the ins and outs, los pormenores. All right, well, amigos, we've got to move along, though. So we're going to kick off with today's Name That Movie. Name That Movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie only on the show with no name. And here we go with today's Name That Movie. As always, I'll give you a little synopsis, and then I will tell you, some of the scenes, one of the scenes from the movie. We'll look at some behind-the-scenes stuff as well. So you might recognize the lead character's name. If you know it instantly. Okay, here we go. 10 years have passed, and Sidney Prescott, who has put herself back together, thanks in part to her writing, is visited by the ghost face killer. From the Wu-Tang Clan? No, not that one. Eso es uno del Wu-Tang Clan. Ghostface Killer! But this is actually uno que lleva máscara. Come on, guys. Come on. This movie's a scream. You know this expression? Es divertidísimo. Whoa! Una diversión. Te lo pasas genial. Doesn't mean it's scary, although it is a scary movie, but it's not Scary Movie. Scary Movie parody. Bueno, me estoy liando aquí. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our movie queen. Even though I was trying to mix you guys up, it didn't work. She got it. Chris. The movie is Scream 4. Scream 4. And let's take a look. It's 10 years have passed. Han pasado 10 años. And Sidney Prescott, who has put herself back together. So that means that she fell apart, right? Se desmoronó. She fell apart. She put herself back together, thanks in part to her writing. Gracias a que pudo escribir. Which, by the way, writing is very therapeutic. If you guys don't write, and I don't mean writing an article, I mean write your feelings, write what you're thinking. It's extremely therapeutic. Writing, drawing, anything with a pencil where you're actually touching, because we live in a digital world, right? So I love tangible things. Like I love drawing with my daughter, playing with Play-Doh, the stuff where you're really touching something, like a real thing, not a digital, ones and zeros. So Sidney Prescott, one of the famous name in horror movies, and she's visited by the ghost face killer. Again, that's any Wu-Tang fans in the house. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to f with. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to f with. You know what word I'm leaving out there. Also, this was the last film directed by Wes Craven. Okay, we were craving another movie, but that's all we got. You get it? Wes Craven, to crave is tener el antojo, ansiar. We were craving another movie from Wes Craven, but it never happened. It's a good way to remember it, to crave. And this was the last movie he directed, and he was, his name is synonymous with horror movies, right? And he died from brain cancer in 2015. He was 76 years old. And a lot happened since this Scream and the first Scream, right? For example, Courtney Cox from Friends and David Arquette, they were married. In fact, they met filming Scream 1. And they got married. That was in 1996 that they met. And in 2010, they filed for separation. And they said there was slight tension on the set, but that, everybody act like adults in the end. I would hope so. Okay. One thing is your personal problems, and one thing is the job you get paid a lot of money to do. Courtney Cox and David Arquette. So check your baggage at the door. Deja tu bagaje en la puerta. You're making millions of dollars. Shut up and work. I'm just kidding. All right, let's take a look at the scene. The voice says, I hear you like horror movies, Kirby. But do you like them as much as him? Forget watching Stab. Instead, you get to live it. Deja de ver la película Stab, apuñalar. Instead, lo vas a vivir. You get to live it. And Kirby says, no. He's the expert, not me. Él es el experto, yo no. And the voice says, warm-up question. Una pregunta para calentar motores. Warm up. Jason's weapon? El arma de Jason. And Jason is Friday the 13th, el famoso horror movie. It's a machete. You say machete, we say machete. Se escribe igual, pero se pronuncia machete. And the voice says, there, you see? You do know the genre. ¿Sabes el género? Michael Myers? A butcher knife. Uno de estos navajas, cuchillos que usan los carniceros. A butcher knife. And Leatherface? Texas Chainsaw. Yo me la sé, eh? I would pass the test. Leatherface is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So he's crying, chainsaw, please. And he goes, just ask Sydney if you need some help. Freddy Krueger? And he says, razor hands. Razor, lo vimos la palabra antes. A razor, para afeitarse, razor. And then the voice says, name the movie that started the slasher craze. And the slasher son las películas de asesinato de estos. To slash es cortar. Like, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Last House on the Left, or Psycho? Psicosis we call Psycho. And Kirby says, Psycho. None of the above. Peeping Tom, directed by Michael Powell, 1960. First movie to ever put the audience in the killer's POV, point of view. And Peeping Tom is somebody, a voyeur, somebody who likes to look at other people when they're changing. That weird neighbor that we all have, right? And then Kirby says, wait, no, please. Just ask me one more question. Just one more. And the voice says, all right, Kirby, then it's time for your last chance question. Name the remake of the groundbreaking horror movie in which the villain, and he cuts him off, the villain, el malo. And then Kirby says, Halloween. He starts listing every horror movie, basically, because he doesn't want to get killed, because he's seeing that he's going to lose this game and fast. And this isn't a game you want to lose, right? When your life is on the line. And then he lists, by the way, some of the greatest horror movies ever. Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Dawn of the Dead, The Hills Have Eyes, Amityville Horror, Friday the 13th, My Bloody Valentine, House of Wax. And he just keeps going on. And obviously he realizes that he doesn't have much time left. Speaking of not having much time left, folks, we've got to go to, I can't believe it, our last commercial break. The good news. We'll be back in 2 minutes with the fourth and final part of today's show with no name. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to this, the fourth and final part of today's show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget, you got amazing programs all afternoon. And you got some new programs on the horizon. Oh, yeah, we've got, starting October 9th, Speak Up. Habla más alto. Speak Up. From 3 to 4 p.m. every Monday through Friday, hosted by Ruby. That's October 9th. Mark your calendars. Also starting on October 9th is Frankly Speaking with Chris Frank. It'll be from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. daily. And you've got our amazing shows such as No Excuses with Fitz, The Probo Show with Rob Grams, Drive Time with Kyle Miller, The Salad with Dave Boyce, Let's Get Random with Jules Linares, Tosh Pasqua, and Back to Basics. I know I'm missing some. The Lunchtime Show with Rob and Andy. All here on Vaughn Radio. Download the free app or listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. All right. Welcome back, amigos. Welcome back to part 4 of today's show. Are you ready for another challenge? All right, let's do it. It's time for today's double trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, my amigos. You know it. It is definitely double trouble time here on the show with no name. And let's see what we've got for today's double trouble. I think you guys should be able to handle it. I think you shouldn't have any difficulty at all with this one. Let's see. Here we go. El tío con la camiseta de cuadros tiene un pasado escabroso, accidentado, con altibajos, ¿no? Que no es... ahí hay cosas que no entendemos, que no se ve, ¿no? Que dejan un poco la imaginación que haga lo suyo. So, el tío con la camiseta de cuadros tiene un pasado escabroso. New word for me, de hecho. Accidentado sí que lo había oído, pero el escabroso I didn't know. Also, let me give you your Say What soundbite for the 4th and final time.
When the twist came here, dancing changed. They were doing the swing. But when Chubby came on the scene, dancing apart to the beat was born. I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me, and we're doing something.
All right, there you go, folks. You're going to hear that. No, you're not going to hear that again. You'll hear it when we reveal who it is and what's being said in just a little bit. Let's see a couple comments coming in here. Kubla says, I just saw Chris's comment on the movie, and Double A hasn't even read out the synopsis. Yeah, she's fast. That's her thing. She's unstoppable. Just be careful too, Kubla. Synopsis. La primera I no es latina, es Y, synopsis, right? En inglés, la primera. Let's see. German says, what was Jack the Ripper's favorite dessert? Ice cream. All right, I'll give it to you. Chris says, I don't like horror movies. I'd have to study in order to get ready for November trivia. Well, hey, at least you know. It has my trivia night that I'm going to do on November 1st, All Saints Day. It's a holiday. You better come. There's going to be, it's not just going to be horror movies. So it'll be also like, there are going to be some serial killers. Like there'll be a part where I ask about, so it'll be horror in general. Music. So the song, like the good thing is, listen to a Halloween playlist. Trust me on that one. Because obviously, I'm going to want to play some songs. And we're probably going to do famous faces with serial killers. I don't know. I don't. It's a month, more than a month away. No, un mes de ahora. So I have plenty of time, but it won't be just movies. There'll be some movie stuff in there, some music stuff, but it'll be pop culture stuff in general. All right, let's see. Leo says the guy in the checked shirt has a checked past. Now, I got to see something here because Leo, I wouldn't say checked, but maybe. Let's see. Okay, yes. Now, the only thing, though, is no funciona en la segunda parte, right? It doesn't work in the second part. But I'll tell you something. I just looked it up. Checked is the British way of saying a cuadros, con cuadros. We wouldn't say checked in the United States. Y por eso la segunda parte ahí no encaja. But it's an excellent effort there. And Leo, on the right track. Okay? Has abierto el camino ahí. Definitely going in the right direction. Let's see. Kubla is going to take a stab at it. And he says the guy in the checkered T-shirt has a checkered past. That's the one. That's right. That's right. The guy in the checkered T-shirt. So checked, Leo, es correcto. Yo no lo sabía. Yo lo acabo de aprender. So British people, he's got a checked shirt. We say checkered. But think about it. If you think of what is checkers, las damas. What does a checkerboard look like? Okay, well, tiene sentido, ¿no? Es decir, dameado, como las damas. Checkers, right? So it's checkered would be the adjective. The guy in the checkered T-shirt has a checkered past. Y piénsalo, no es constante. Bueno, aquí cuadriculado a cuadros. Varied, questionable. It's a synonym for varied, right? Con altibajos, enrevesado, it says as well. So the guy in the checkered T-shirt has a checkered past. Well, we were talking about before. If you have a criminal record, there's a checkered past. Or you have some things, everybody, they say, has skeletons in their closet, right? So if you have you have checkered work experience. O sea, no es constante, hay como hueco. It doesn't. So it's not a good thing unless we're talking about, obviously, a pattern, un estampado, a pattern on clothing. But if not, if we're talking about checkered in this way, it's not a good thing. There's stuff that is not, that doesn't make sense there, okay? Y veo que también los ingleses dicen checkered. Lo único es, son raros. We spell it check como check, ¿no? Como un check. But they spell it checkered con una Q. Oh, man. Well, excellent, guys. Wonderful job. The guy in the checkered shirt has a checkered past. That is your double trouble. We already looked at our Say What soundbite for the fourth time. So guess what time it is, amigos? It's time for Your Joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking. That's right, folks. That's right. You're joking only on the show with no name. And usually, as you guys know, all of our jokes are usually themed. They're usually around a certain topic. And today, I decided to make them about games. We all like playing games, right? Well, today they are about games. And, well, just want to remind you, there's also an FYI episode on classic games. I've shared the link over here for your convenience. It's in the group, and here's the intro. We all love to play and have fun from the moment we breathe our first breath. Games have been played by people everywhere since the dawn of humankind. They can be fun for everyone, whether you play with friends or family. Games can come in all shapes and sizes and are specific to certain cultures, while others are universal and are played by all ages, races, religions, and cultures across the globe.
Let's play, people.
We'll take a gander at classic childhood games on this week's episode of FYI. Welcome to For Your Info.
Inglés.
You got it. There you go, folks. There's my daughter participating. Hey, she's such a good sport. Es que se apunta a todo. A nice round of applause, not just because she does a good job, but when I say, Lara, do you want to record with Papi? She says, yeah, Papi. So she is willing and able, como decimos, dispuesta y capaz y con ganas. She loves it. And she's a natural. I think you guys will agree. Well, if you want to get a little nostalgic today, I think it's the perfect episode to listen to. There's a bonus episode as always, but that's available exclusively for people in my community. Some of you are in my community. You have access to that. If not, be patient. Sometimes it takes about a year for the bonus episodes to come out, but eventually they do. So if you've waited a year, that's great. You can be patient. If not, every week, there are two episodes of FYI that I produce, a bonus episode and tons of additional content. I'm sure you guys know that, especially if you follow me on social media. All right, let's take a look at today's jokes over here and see if you guys get them. What game do ants play with elephants? What game do ants play with elephants? Easy. Squash. No. Squash. It's like a racket game. You play against the wall. Squash. Also, to squash something is to smother it, aplastar. And actually, squash, so to squash something is to press it flat, aplastar. It's a racket game, and it's also a vegetable, calabacín. Look at that. That could be a triple trouble over there, right? Also, to squash something is to stop it, right? Okay, listen, we had a fight, but I'm going to squash it right now. Aquí se acaba. Voy a acabar con ello y no. So it's a very rich word I'm seeing something here. Squash, you get it? The elephant squashed the ant. All right. Well, all right. Let's take a look at another one over here. Let's see. What game? Here's an easy one. I think you might even be able to figure it out. What game does a tornado like to play? Come on, es un clásico. It's a game where you got to get up on your feet. And depending on if you're playing it with adults or young people, it changes the game a little bit. You know which one I'm talking about? Twister. Twister, where you twist your body, retuerces tu cuerpo. Now, again, I remember playing this at university parties where you would have to, strip and take, every time you had to move, you had to take off an article of clothing. But also, we play with my daughter. And so this game can be risque, subido de tono, really quickly. It's very physical. What game does a tornado like to play? Acuérdate, no es tornado, tornado. Twister. It's another way of saying a tornado, a twister. All right. Why couldn't the pirates play cards? Why couldn't the pirates play cards? Because the captain was sitting on the deck. That's a good one. No? Porque el capitán estaba sentado en la baraja. He was sitting on the deck of cards. But also, the deck, if you listen to the recent episode of FYI on cruises, is la cubierta. ¿Dónde crees que yo aprendí esa palabra? Hola. Right? As I said, I'm learning Spanish from creating the bonus content for FYI. Every week, I prepare PDF documents with about 500, no, I would say not 500, about 300 to 400 different words and expressions. And a lot of them I know, and other ones I have to look up and learn. So there you go. Porque el capitán estaba en la cubierta, no les iba a dejar jugar. And also because he was sitting on the deck of cards. So the airport in Madrid is decks of cards? Barajas? All right, let's see what joke we have on deck. Oh, no, I didn't. On deck, en espera por venir. Wow, another rich word there, isn't it? All right, last one, I promise. Only because we're running out of time here. I didn't tell you this, guys. I went shopping yesterday. I went to a toy store, and I almost got caught trying to steal a board game. We don't call them table game. We call them board game. Tabla, mesa de tabla. Juego de tabla, porque normalmente viene en una tabla, right? So I almost got caught trying to steal a board game yesterday. Yeah. But it was a risk I was willing to take. Risk, el juego Risk, great game, by the way. Very involved game. You don't play for a half hour. That's a game where you get into it and you can play all night. Risk, right? It was a risk I was willing to take, un riesgo que estaba dispuesto a hacer. It was era un risk que estaba dispuesto a robar. Well, we just looked at the word risque, para no confundirnos. Risque, subido de tono. Risky, arriesgado. All right, well, folks, I hope you enjoyed your joking, but now it's time for famous birthday trivia.
1, 2, 3. Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Oi, oi, oi. Birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. And let's see who's celebrating a birthday today. First up, she was born in 1973. A Canadian actress. Canadian. That's right. She's known for her work in drama and horror. I've never seen her do too much comedy, really. Let's see. Where would you know her from? Well, have you seen the movie Scream? Or Scream 4, which was today's Name That Movie? Well, she plays Sidney Prescott, the lead role. Yeah, her. I think she's beautiful. What a beautiful woman, and a talented actress as well. And she's been in many other movies. She's been in series as well. And she was even in Churchill more recently. She was in a mini series called Titanic, Blood and Steel, the action film Skyscraper, and so many more things. So definitely a TV and big screen actress. Oh, and 54. She was really good in that, about Studio 54 in New York City. Next up, this guy was born in 1954, and he shares a last name with Richard. Richard, el que empezó esta radio, el que tiene el nombre de esta radio, pues that's his last name. Si sabes la radio que estás escuchando, sabes el apellido de este tío. And probably one of the greatest singer, songwriter, guitarists ever. This guy was a virtuoso from Dallas, born and raised in Dallas. So I'm not saying that they're, first cousins, primos hermanos, but they might be distant relatives. And this guy, man, nobody could play the blues. I'll tell you what, no white guy, except for Eric Clapton, maybe. Yeah, Eric Clapton and this guy, and maybe David Gilmour and Jimi Hendrix. Well, Jimi Hendrix wasn't white. a virtuoso, one of the greatest guitarists to ever live. And last but not least, come on, baby, let's do the twist. Take me by my little hand and go like this. The twist. Let's twist again. And this guy's name is Dama Gordito or de Cuadros. We looked at this word before. Regordete is his first name. Regordete. Gordito. I love this word. All right, let's see. Our winner is Chris Valrol. Number 1, Nev Campbell. Actress Nev Campbell. Number 2, Stevie Ray Vaughan. I'm kidding. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Como diga Stevie Ray Vaughan, they're going to be like, who the fuck is that? Stevie Ray Vaughan. And last but not least, Chubby Checker. Chubby is regordete, and checker, well, we already looked at that word, to have a checkered past. Chubby Checker has not had a checkered past. Speaking of, he's an example of somebody who's kept a clean image of himself and hasn't gotten into trouble. So Chubby Checker. And that'll bring us to our Say What soundbite. This was Chubby Checker talking about how he changed music in his songs. And he speaks about himself in the third person, excuse me. He goes, when the twist came here, cuando el twist vino, dancing changed, cambió todo, el baile. They were doing the swing. En ese momento estaban haciendo swing. But when Chubby came on the scene, Chubby Checker, came on the scene, dancing apart to the beat was born. O sea, ya podías seguir tu propio ritmo, que no tenía que ser el batería. It changed everything. And he says, and I'm looking at her and she's looking at me and we're doing something. So he said that kind of dancing kind of connected people. It was maybe some of the first risque dancing out there, at least in the United States, when at that time people were much more puritanical, if you will, even if it was a fake Puritanism. So Chubby Checker, let's hear from the birthday boy, Chubby Checker.
When the twist came here, dancing changed. They were doing the swing. But when Chubby came on the scene, dancing apart to the beat was born. I'm looking at her and she's looking at me. And we're doing something.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is. No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's Name That Lyric only on the show with no name. And thank you. Wonderful job, as always. Wonderful job to everybody who participated, whether it's live or whether you've done it later on the podcast. Thank you for downloading and listening and viewing. It's an absolute pleasure. Up next, you got Ximena Holiday and her amazing program, Test Your English, which is the one I left out before. Fíjate. And also, just a reminder, you've got our weekend camps, special deals. Also, check out the Vaughn groups. All of that is on our website, which is grupovaughn.com. If you're looking for materials, that's vaughntienda.com. Either way, you know you're in good hands. The same way I'm leaving you in good hands with Ximena, you're in good hands at Grupo Vaughn. And I know that because, well, I've been here 20 years almost now. So for me, it's more than a company. It's a family. And you guys are part of that family. Thank you. And I'm going to dedicate today's song to you guys. It's a great song to share with friends. And it is Stand By Me. Apóyame, estate a mi lado. It's Ben E. King, and what a beautiful song it is. Let's take a look at the lyrics quickly. When the night has come and the land is dark, easy, and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. I think you guys know it. I want you to sing along with me. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you so much, everybody. And we'll be back tomorrow with more. I promise. Ciao. Boom, diggy, boom, boom, doo, boo, doo.